we've picked up an area just to the east of that, along with a big trend on the next granite, which has seen some pretty good tin and tungsten as well. So we think it's a play that has legs. It's Mount Pleasant is well known and it is important, but it's not going to be the only deposit in the play. That's for sure.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Paul Barrett. He's the CEO of Rome Resources. Paul, a very good morning. Rome Resources has built a story around tin exploration in the DRC. So why are you now expanding into Canada? And what opportunity did you see there that was too good to ignore?
Yes, morning, Steve. Well, tin is the key word in all this, and we are driven primarily by the geology, so and the commodities, etc. So this tin play in New Brunswick is pretty high grade, and so it also comes with additional minerals, additional commodities that are really high on the critical list, such as indium and tungsten. So we thought it was definitely worth having a look at. Now, clearly, we're still drilling away in DRC, and we're still getting tin intercepts, and so that's our primary focus, and that remains our primary focus to get that monetized and to get value for those projects for the shareholders. But we're looking forward a little bit because this is really early exploration. We haven't really, there's no drilling plans or anything like that. So it's something that will add to the pipeline of critical minerals projects for us, and hopefully value for shareholders going forward in the future.
Paul, the licenses sit close to the historic Mount Pleasant deposit, and as you said, have already shown tin grades at surface. What makes the geology here particularly exciting for your team?
Well, the interesting thing is it's the Appalachian system, and there's a lot of tin granites around. There are some tin lithium systems, but this is a tin tungsten indium play, which makes it quite compelling. I mean, Mount Pleasant itself at the moment is the largest indium deposit in the US and one of the largest undeveloped tungsten. So it is quite an important play, and we have picked up acreage right next door along the southern end of it's a granitic volcanic system. So there's an ancient caldera and the granites, and the mineralisation is all associated with this in several ways. So we've picked up an area just to the east of that, along with a big trend on the next granite, which has seen some pretty good tin and tungsten as well. So we think it's a play that has legs. It's Mount Pleasant is well known and it is important, but it's not going to be the only deposit in the play. That's for sure.
The option gives you exposure to more than 100 square kilometers for a relatively modest upfront cost, Paul. Is this essentially a low-risk way to test a potentially high-impact discovery?
Well, that's absolutely right. And by it being low cost, we end up putting most of our investment into the ground, which is the way we like to do it anyway. So it is what will happen is that we will assimilate the data, do some field work this year, nothing major, but just to try and understand the structure and the geology with a view to potentially drilling next year. So it's a relatively slow burn. It won't impact what we're doing in DRC at all. We have the prospector who we optioned the land from will do most of the work going forward. So as I say, it won't distract us from DRC, but it's a really compelling play. And New Brunswick itself is they've just last week announced their new critical mineral strategy, which is very, very pro mining. So it's a good place to be as well.
Well, I hope you'll keep us updated with developments there. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks, Steve.
Paul Barrett, the CEO of Rome Resources.